So this seems to be the unified theory of everything, the equation. And no, I'm not kidding. Small scale, um, in real life, this is scaled up to infinity, infinitely large and infinitely small. And this is just bonkers. It's a cellular automaton, um, totalistic grid that I've created in Excel, of all things. And this is completely bonkers. Watch this. You can actually watch the frequency waves. I have it set to iteration, and it's gonna have to, it has to recalculate. And my computer's kind of slow, but I don't know if you can see it. This is a grid, and it's creating essentially perfect spheres through averages. So it's a totalistic cellular automaton that's creating these perfect spheres. And I read a lot about automatons. I'm kind of obsessed with them. And I don't know of anybody who's been able to get a grid automaton to create perfect spheres like this. And I've done it through averages. And it didn't show well that time, but you can actually watch frequency waves appear out of this. I haven't really figured out what causes them yet, but maybe it'll happen this time. So the idea is that this is basically the substrate of all reality, but it's infinite in largeness and smallness, and of course this is just two-dimensional, and in real life it's four-dimensional. Well, it has not only x and y, but also z, and then time, a time dimension, so four-dimensional. Imagine this in four-dimensional space, and then infinite in largeness and in smallness. And that's the universe. And because it's infinite in smallness, these cell states, these states are the state of the cells at the smallest, most infinite levels, right? We can't even comprehend because we're just human beings, but at the most infinite levels, these states are bubbling up into our scale. And so the energy is constantly bubbling up into our scale from infinite smallness, which causes our scale to expand. And it creates a pressure gradient at our scale that creates particles out of the universal fluid. And I know that's confusing. You have to understand the whole optimum theory to understand that all of reality, according to optimum theory, is an infinite fluid, and it's a pressure system that is bubbling up from infinite smallness and creating vortices at our scale that we call atoms. So when I'm doing this, when I'm putting a number here, this is simulating energy bubbling up from infinite smallness. So I'm actually adding the number here, but in reality, imagine that this number is bubbling up from infinite smallness. And when it does, it creates this pattern that is essentially atomic in nature. It even creates like an electron field around it, and it even creates electromagnetic radiation out of it. You can actually watch it happen. It is hard to see on my monitor through the phone, but when you're seeing this like in person, you can actually see that the numbers are changing in a pressure wave, like an electromagnetic wave. It is completely unreal. Completely unreal. This appears to be the unified theory of everything. And I'm recording it on my phone late at night because I don't, because it's going to take me a while to put this into a much nicer video. But for the time being, I want this information out there because it's awesome. So I'm going to put this together in a much nicer video. But for the time being, I want to record it, at least in some way. That this here appears to be the unified theory of everything, an actual formula that is simulating, as best I can for right now, a small cross-section of the infinite universe that is infinite in largeness and in smallness, which the infinite smallness energies from infinite smallness bubble up, create atoms and particles at our scale, and also push things together that are close, and this is called gravity, and push things further apart that are further apart, and we call that the expansion of the universe, or dark energy. And this field is what we think of as dark matter. The aspect of this quote-unquote universal fluid that is invisible to light because it propagates light. It doesn't interact with light because it propagates light. Anyway, I think that should be enough for now, but wow. Wow.